You're listening to Scotty and Andrew, and this is Fun with Horror.
Well, hello, all you horror beautiful people fans out there. Welcome to another episode of Fun with Horror, your weekly movie review podcast in which my best friend Andrew and I take turns giving each other movies to watch, and then we discuss them the following week. We have two rules. Number one, whoever picks the movie has to pick a movie they've never seen. And number two, we both have to watch that movie. Last week, I chose the brand new 2022 film Hellraiser, directed by David Bruckner, who also directed The Night House, and starring Jamie Clayton as the priest, otherwise known as Pinhead. Stay tuned to the end of this episode, where we're going to hear what lovely little Andrew picks for our next movie. And of course, if you are enjoying the show, please do us a favor. Go on Apple Podcasts and give us a little nice rating and review. And we'd really appreciate it. But without further ado,
Adieu.
Hi, Andrew.
Hi, Scotty.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Hellraiser, bless you.
Bless you. Episode 66.
Yes. Oh, did I
66.
not? Did not say episode 66.
No, but I had to bring it up since we had just talked about it a second ago. Episode 66 is Hellraiser.
I know, but see, this is why you're so good at this, because I was the one that said, hey, in our intro, maybe we should say welcome to episode whatever of Fun with Horror. And I keep forgetting to do it, yet you remembered last week, after like a month hiatus, you remembered to do it. And I just like, ugh.
Well, thank you.
Great.
But I
Thanks,
have my
Scotty.
cheat sheet here, though, just so that's why.
Yeah, I do too.
Oh.
It says right here, Hellraiser, episode 66.
Oh. Well, then you have no excuse.
Maybe I should put episode 66, Hellraiser.
Oh, there you go. There you go. But turn the H into like a 6.
Yes. Yeah. 6 Hellraiser.
Yes. 666 Hellraiser.
Okay.
Sorry. Good morning.
Good morning. Hi. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. Oh, let
Can
me
I
get a
have
sip
some
of my
more,
coffee.
sir?
Right. I want some more Hellraiser, please.
I want some more Pinhead.
The priest. Oh, God.
Torture me, sir. Please.
Boy, what a different movie Oliver Twist would be.
Please, sir. We have such sights to show you.
Oh, my gosh. Might I have some more would really mean a different thing with this movie.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. How are you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm good. It's yeah.
Good.
We're discussing a movie
We are discussing a movie.
in a moment, and that's exciting to me.
That is. But I did want to discuss
Uh-oh.
a different movie.
Uh-oh.
Well, no, kind of. Not even a movie,
no.
a special,
Oh, no.
if you will.
Oh, yeah, we were going to talk about that. I totally forgot.
Oh,
We finally get to talk about a Marvel property,
We
an
do.
MCU
yes.
thing, if you will.
Yes.
What was it called, Andrew? Tell us.
It was called Werewolf by Night.
Yes. Andrew, can I ask you a question?
Please.
How familiar were you with the Werewolf by Night comic before you watched this?
You know what's funny is that seems like the genre that I would kind of be most attracted to, but I don't know a lot about him. I knew his name was Jack Russell, which always made me laugh. On the nose, but that's really it. I know a bit of like the monster side of things, but I don't know as much as I would like to about him.
You and me, pal.
Yeah.
You and me. Same.
Nice.
Like, I know about Morbius. I know about
Right.
Man-Thing
Mm-hmm.
and other monsters more than I know about Werewolf by Night. And it's funny because our friend JD has a big old Werewolf by Night omnibus in his house.
Yeah.
Which, for those that don't know, it's a big book.
Yes, very big.
But yeah, so, and we both love this, didn't we?
Yeah. Oh man, I was like, I don't even know.
We
how
are not going to
describe
spoil this, Spike.
No.
Let's just say that real quick.
Definitely not.
This is just a really quick non-spoiler talk.
It
We are
was
not going to spoil this, so if you haven't seen it, you're safe to listen to us right now.
Yeah, but at the very end, my favorite part. No. What a brat. No. What?
Man, that twist.
Yeah.
When,
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
Howard the Duck.
Turned out M. Night Shyamalan directed this, and no, actually, it was not M. Night Shyamalan. Who was it? Who directed this, Scotty?
It was Michael Giacchino.
Dude, how great
Michael
did he do?
Giacchino, my freaking hero. Did I
Man.
ever tell you about the time that I was walking through Comic-Con and there was Michael Giacchino just signing things and no line whatsoever? So I jumped in that little non-existent line. I bought me Rogue One soundtrack on
Nice.
vinyl, and I went up and I said, Michael Giacchino, you're the best. I love your scores, and I think the Tomorrowland score that you did is very underappreciated.
Nice.
And he was like, thank you.
Aw.
Thank you. And I have a picture of me and Michael Giacchino, and now he's a big-time Marvel director.
Right? Oh, dude, that's so cool.
But how
Lucky.
good was his direction, too? Like,
Honestly.
Wow.
That whole thing, I was captivated from start to finish. I mean, I was like, this is the best 50 minutes I've
Yeah.
seen in a long time. I mean, it was awesome. It was just awesome. Everything.
There were decisions that he made
Mhm.
that I'm not going to talk about specifically.
Sure.
I'm sure, I don't know if he made them, but, there were just decisions and just some visuals in that show, in that movie, that I was just like, wow. And even Mary, who was watching it with me, was like, this is amazing.
Yes. Nice.
And she knows nothing about Werewolf by Night.
That's awesome.
And then, and this is not a spoiler, this is in the trailer,
Yeah, dude.
Man Thing. My God.
Perfection.
I love Man Thing.
Oh, yeah. Kind of, and again, not, for me, this isn't a spoiler, I would say, but moments stole the show.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
Yep. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I loved Werewolf by Night. I love Jack.
Mm-hmm.
But when I saw Man Thing, I was just... everything about him excited the heck out of me.
Right? And everything about him was quite comic accurate as well, which was awesome. Like, not only his look, but just everything about him.
Yes.
I was like, yes.
Down to his glowing red eyes.
Yes.
My goodness. That actually moved to have expression.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, man,
Yep.
give me more Man Thing in the MCU, please.
Well, and that's what I thought, too. I thought, man, wouldn't it be awesome if he got to do like a Halloween special each year where we get like next year could be Man Thing. I don't know if they'd ever do that, but I was like, man, that would be so fun to look forward to each, October, something like kind of in that world, man.
Well,
I'd be
I mean,
down.
I do want to see. I want to see them come together.
Mm-hmm.
It's been talked about. Elsa Bloodstone,
Oh yeah.
Jack, Werewolf by Night,
Mhm.
Man Thing, Black Knight.
Nice.
I mean, I know we're getting into like comic book nerd geekdom, which I think is a great time to announce that we are switching from Fun with Horror to Fun with Marvel.
That's right. Yep, this is our final horror episode. The rest, yeah, we're starting at Iron Man and moving forward.
Yes. Actually, that sounds fun.
It does sound fun. It's our spinoff.
Oh, man. But yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
My
Oh, and-
only disappointment
Oh yeah, what? Ooh.
was that there was no Howard the Duck. Because, as you know, my friend, or as you might know,
Mm-hmm.
my two favorite Marvel characters are Daredevil and Howard the Duck.
Yes. Oh yeah.
And Howard the Duck premiered in a Man Thing comic.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I forget. See, now I'm not remembering. the comic that Man-Thing was in, it wasn't just called Man-Thing at first. It was like mystery something.
They always said like Tales from the or whatever it was. Yeah, they always had something.
Yeah,
like
and
that.
I think they even said it in Werewolf by Night. Like,
nice.
And I was like, oh, that's so cool. Oh, this wasn't it. They said something about Where Monsters Dwell, and that's the name of a Marvel comic.
Yep.
I believe.
Yep.
But yeah, Howard the Duck premiered in a Man-Thing comic, and so I was like, man, it would be awesome if Howard the Duck was in this.
Nice. That would have been amazing. But at least he's there in the world.
He's there in the world, and he would not have fit in this 50-minute special.
No. I will say one more thing I wanted to bring up that I thought was brilliant. And again, don't want to spoil anything, but there was a song played at a point in the movie that was exactly the song that needed to be played at that moment.
Yes.
And it was perfect. And I was like, I even now I'm thinking about it, I get goosebumps. I'm like, that was just, do yourselves a favor. If you've not watched this, it's 50 minutes. If you have Disney Plus, hop on there and watch. It's worth the time, man.
Go watch it. Get goosebumps.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. It's so good.
Oh, so good.
What else, buddy? Have you been to Spirit Halloween lately?
Yes.
I haven't.
Oh,
I was just wondering if you have.
Yeah.
I never go. I don't ever go.
Well, it's so the one that we had where I live was pretty crappy, to be honest. Like, we'd go and it was like picked apart like on day one, and there's nothing. Like, they don't restock, and it's just like, blech. Well, this year a different business went out of business, and it's a big building, and the whole thing they made Spirit Halloween. We walked in, Kylie and I walked in, we're just like, it was like Disneyland. I mean, it was crazy. It was so much stuff, and it was awesome. It was so fun to walk through. So I was very happy this year of how it looked. Plus we got to get our picture with Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So.
Well, I mean, there's been this weird renaissance of Spirit Halloween. Like, it used to be a joke.
Oh, really?
That Spirit Halloween would just take over every empty department, and it's just like cheap Halloween stuff. And now all of a sudden everybody's like, oh, got to get Spirit Halloween the moment it opens. Got to get these limited edition yard things.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah, it's so interesting to me. So I really need to go. But also, I live in L.A., close to Burbank. And in Burbank, there's like this nice Halloween Town store on Magnolia.
Sweet. That
people might know of. And they have so much cool Halloween stuff. It's not, I don't know that it's all decorations and stuff, but it is like just a lot of cool stuff.
Oh, that's awesome. That sounds so
But
cool.
You ready to raise some hell? Yeah, there was nothing I could do.
I thought
that was the best segue I had.
I really thought you were gonna ask about like Enzo or something. Be like, how is that little Hellraiser?
Oh, that was. See, you should have. Should have said that about Ziggy.
Oh, there we go. Ah, shoot. Next time.
Ah, darn.
Darn.
What is it? It's a puzzle. And it's almost finished. Keep going. So if I solve it, do I get a prize? I do.
Scotty, after quite a long break, like we mentioned last week, I mean, it was longer than people know, or knew, I guess, of our break with Fun with Horror. You got to pick our next movie, which is one I think not only us, but the horror community has been pretty excited to see.
Yeah.
For a while, once it was announced. And that was, of course, the newest Hellraiser on Hulu. Which I'm very excited to talk to you about.
Yeah, me too.
I don't have a whole lot of notes, as you and I have, as I had mentioned at one point, but what I do have, I think it'll be very fun to hear your thoughts.
And And I've got enough notes for both of us, pal.
Good. Thank you. Thank you. But of course, before we, just to let everyone know, before we jump in and start talking all Hellraiser, this is your spoiler warning. If you, as I bonked that, sorry, that noise will be there. I'm wearing glasses this morning, and I forget that they go out a little bit. So,
oh, wow. So everybody, that little noise was Andrew's glasses hitting his microphone.
Yes.
That's exciting.
Yay. It's morning.
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes. No, but if you have not seen Hellraiser and you're okay with spoilers, keep listening. Stick around. We want you here. But if you do not like spoilers and you have a Hulu account, go watch Hellraiser and jump back in and listen to the
new
rest of it.
Hellraiser.
The new Hellraiser, yes. Hellraiser 2022. Not
You can
Hellraiser.
watch the 80s one, but, that's not what we're talking about. We're not going to spoil that one.
No, this is, this has kind of its own thing. So, like I said, if you're okay with spoilers, stick around. We want you here. But before we jump in and start talking everything and all things Hellraiser, would you mind, my friend? I know this one's going to be an interesting one. Would you give us a 3-minute recap of 2022 Hellraiser?
I can certainly try.
Please do. Let me know when you're ready, man, and we'll just go.
You'll
whenever
just
you
sit and
want.
listen.
Yeah, I'll just listen.
I will do nothing.
Yep.
So this movie turned out to be pretty much a reboot.
Mm-hmm.
I was unsure what it was, but it's a reboot, basically. The main story. Okay, so where do I start? Okay. At the beginning of the movie, we see a young man taken up to this room where this guy lives in a mansion, and he sees the famous puzzle box, but it's in a different shape. Guy comes out, tells the kid to solve it. The kid starts solving it. A little knife comes out, nicks his hand, and suddenly there's chains, and he's being strung up, and that's the intro. The rest of the movie, the focal point is Riley. Riley is an addict. She's a struggling addict when we meet her in the movie, and she's got a boyfriend who at one point says, "Hey, I've got a score that we can rob. It's easy." They go inside, and there's the puzzle box. They find the puzzle box. That's the score, and this is 6 years after the intro, mind you. They get back. She gets back to her place. Her brother, who she lives with, along with his boyfriend and just a random roommate. He gets mad at her, kicks her out because he can smell the alcohol on her breath, and blames her for relapsing. Whatever. So she goes outside. She's playing with the puzzle box. It opens, and the knife comes out, but it doesn't cut her. All of a sudden, she sees figures, and she hears somebody say, it was meant for you, but now you can pick another. So whatever. Eventually, her brother finds her, cuts his hand, and he goes into the bathroom to clean his hand. Bong! Bells sound, and he disappears through like a wall. Anyway, so here's the point of the movie. What happens is when people cut themselves, the Cenobites show up, and they take the people. And whoever has the box, there's 6 configurations of this box in this movie. And whoever has the box is trying to get other people to be taken by the Cenobites as a sacrifice. And at the 6th configuration, they get to choose a boon, a gift. And so she ends up, long story short, in the mansion of the guy in the beginning of the movie. Man. The mansion is a fortress with these iron bars, and it's all convoluted. The guy is still there. He's living in the walls or whatever, or hiding in the walls. He's trying to get her to go through the configurations. He hired her boyfriend, actually, who turns out to be a not-so-good person. He hired her boyfriend to trick her and to actually get the box and have her cut herself, but things happen differently. So what he's trying to do is So he had done all 6 configurations. Mm-hmm. The guy that owns the mansion. Voight. And he had asked for a boon, and it wasn't what he expected. So now he wants the boon to be gone, which we'll get into.
Yes.
But the Cenobites say, we will let you switch boons. We will not let you just say no to our gifts. And he chooses power. Meanwhile, Riley she kills her boyfriend as her sixth configuration. Her sixth sacrifice. She goes, the Cenobites ask her what she wants. She says nothing. And they say, oh, well, so you've chosen life. You have to live with the regret of what you've done. And then the very end of the movie, we see Voight in a void, which is where the Cenobites are from. And his skin is being pulled back in different patterns. And basically, when he chose power, that means he's becoming a Cenobite himself.
Nice.
Man, that's hard. That is difficult.
That, to be honest, dude, I had no idea how you were gonna do that one. This movie, you did it. You did it. You got all the points across, and we're of course gonna discuss things further. But like this movie,
Nobody was able to follow what I said. Nobody.
I think you're good. I think you're good. It just
all right. Well, we'll see.
This one. Yeah, I did not envy you. Like even watching this after I finished, I was like, man, how do you describe this movie?
I tried. I sat in my car and I did like a little practice, like 3-minute recap, and I was like, oof.
It's
I'm
hard.
like, this is definitely going long, just like the movie.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all right.
And yeah, because there's a little bit to it, you know?
Yeah.
But we'll get into it. We'll get
Yes.
into that.
But of course, so thank you for that. But of course,
You're welcome.
I want stop it. I want to know, man, and the world wants to know. What did you think of Hellraiser 2022?
Well, let me tell you, pal.
Lay it on me.
I liked it a lot.
Mm.
I liked it a lot. I did have a couple of issues, nothing too major, but I did like it a lot. I thought it was a very good reboot. I like the fact that they didn't try and remake the original or readapt the original book or novella. I thought it was a little long.
Yeah.
I thought the minutes could have been trimmed a little bit. Otherwise, I thought I really enjoyed the idea, the new ideas that they gave the puzzle box with the 6 configurations and all. And I loved the Cenobites.
Yes.
So I would say I like this movie a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't quite love it, liked it a lot.
Okay.
What about you, my friend?
Man, I would say I think I liked it a little more than you did. I really, really enjoyed this movie. Did
you love it?
Maybe I even loved it. I don't know. Love's a strong word, so
Love is a strong word, especially when you're talking about episode 6-6,
Right,
Hellraiser.
No, but I watched it with Cindy, and both of us at the end were like, that was really
Ooh.
good. Like we were like,
I
that
don't
was good.
see. I watched it with Mary, and I don't think she was as impressed.
Ah, right on. Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I'm excited to talk, but I agree with you. It could have been shaved, maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I have one other gripe, and it's just me being a stinker. But
I would actually like to hear that gripe right now.
I will tell you. My thing was to get to the box was extremely easy. These two people were able, and I know that the boyfriend was hired to go get it, essentially, and kind of start this process.
Yeah.
But the guy that hired him wasn't the one that hid it away. It was the lady that didn't like the box. So I was like, she just put it in.
She did?
Yeah.
Oh, so she hid the box away, and then Voight hired
To go get
the
it.
boyfriend to go get it. The boyfriend, Trevor. Trevor.
Yes, yeah, Trevor. Yes,
Voight
yes.
hired Trevor to get it with Riley.
Right, and
to
start-
start the whole thing.
Yep.
Okay.
At least that's what I think happened. But
You're probably right. I didn't catch that much, but that makes sense.
because even when they go and visit what's her name? The guy that worked with Voight that hid the box away. Sorry,
I forget her name. Yeah.
Can't think of it. Anyway, she was the one that was like, "Dude, that box is evil. Like, I'll take it. Like, don't even look at it." And so I'm like, if she was that afraid of it, and she was the one that hid it away, she put it in a safe that they opened up with a crowbar. I'm like, if this
Yeah.
thing is like basically hell itself, like you're gonna want to, I don't know, throw that in the middle of the ocean or something. I mean, so that was my only gripe, was it was very easy to get this box that is literal hell.
Her name was Miniker.
Miniker. Wow,
That's what she's credited in IMDb as Miniker.
Okay.
Or Minaker. I don't know.
Okay.
Miniker. But yeah, I can't argue with you, pal.
Okay.
It didn't really didn't hit me too much.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say, during the scene where they were stealing the box, that's where I was sitting there going, oh my God, why is this scene so long?
Yep.
Like, you go in, you steal the box. Like, we don't need, like, this, like, hour-long, like, them staking the place out and going in and opening. Like, okay, you stole the box. You don't even have to show them. Well, you have to show them find the box. But.
Right. But even he gives enough information before. He's like, I used to work there and I have the number still. And it's like, great, that's all we need. Show us you in there getting the box and go. Done.
Yeah.
Yep, totally agree.
Easy points, easy things. I will say I did like how when they got to the mansion, because the best parts of the movie take place at the mansion when Riley gets there.
Yes. Yep.
I would say I really did like how that's like half the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Riley gets to the mansion before the halfway point. So you're dealing with that mansion and all that for half the movie.
Right.
So here's something. I'm not going to, this isn't the movie's fault. Well, it's kind of the movie's fault.
Yeah, I want to know what are your...
And see, this is going to be interesting.
Okay.
My gripe is with Hulu.
Oh, okay.
Partly with Hulu. There was a couple scenes in the movie that were corrected, like color corrected, very dark. Almost too dark, I would say. And I did not, I don't know. I'd have to watch it again at home or something, because Hulu's streaming quality was not that great when I saw it.
Interesting. Okay.
I saw artifacting in the blacks, not to get all technical.
Right.
But
I like this,
I
though.
saw
It's
like
nice.
some artifacting in the blacks, and even Mary mentioned something. She's like, because Mary used to not care. I've turned her into a monster when it comes to like video quality. She's like, I hate what you did to me. But yeah, I actually paused it to see if it was in 4K, and I was like, wow, this is 4K HDR?
Wow.
Like, I shouldn't be seeing this artifacting.
Right.
So I don't know. I got to give it. I got to play it again on my TV, because when I played scenes from it on my iPad, it seemed okay.
Right.
And my iPad is 4K, so I don't know.
Okay.
I just don't know.
No,
but
I
you
get
didn't
that,
notice
but-
anything like that.
I didn't, but I mean, I don't have like the craziest TV either, so.
But still, so even like not having a crazy TV, let's just say at the beginning in Riley's apartment,
Right. Yeah.
did you find that dark at all?
I don't think so, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Good.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
maybe it's just me.
maybe, I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe. But that was like, I mean, I know that Hulu's streaming quality the day I watched it was not good.
Oh,
That's
okay.
that's a definite. Yeah, but I'm not sure what that had to do with the darkness of the movie.
Right. Yeah, I can't say I really noticed anything, to be honest. So
All right.
I don't know.
All right. I thought I had other gripes, but then those kind of went away because I realized that Trevor was orchestrating the whole thing.
Right.
That he was trying to lead her, and like, because there was like certain things, like Riley had great ideas, like let's get out of here.
Right. Yeah.
And Trevor's like, no, we can't leave. We got to call the police. And I'm like, what the police? Have you seen these things? Yeah. You're going to call the police on Cenobites?
Right. That's funny. I like that.
I will say, though, buddy,
Yeah.
I think when we watched, what was the other? Oh, was it the Midnight Meat Train? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I went the extra mile, and I read the novella this past week.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Because here's the thing. When I watched the movie, I loved the whole idea of 6 configurations
Yes.
of the box.
Yep.
And I was like, wait, is that from the original story? Is that brand new? I didn't know. So I went back and read the original story, and man, I read it back when I was a teenager probably.
Sure.
But I was so surprised, and this is not a spoiler for the first Hellraiser movie,
Okay.
but I was surprised at how dang close the original Hellraiser followed the book.
Really?
Yes, it's almost exact up until like the very last moments.
Weird. That's surprising. Wow.
I was very surprised. I'm like, man, this is like almost like reading a script. But I think Clive Barker directed the original Hellraiser, so
I think you're right. Yep.
it makes sense.
That's
still-
crazy. Wow.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That is awesome. So
Man.
then this one's nothing like like the book or the
No,
novella.
and I'm glad. I'm glad. Like, they took the essence of the book.
Sure.
They took the essence of the story, and they created a new story that makes complete sense in that world.
Nice. Okay.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
The Cenobites still take people,
Mm-hmm.
but the whole idea of somebody cutting themselves on the puzzle box and the puzzle box, the puzzle box absorbing the blood, and that being the calling the Cenobites to come take that person. I thought that was brilliant.
That was cool. Yep. I really liked that. Very smart. Very creepy as well.
Here's the other thing.
Lay it on me.
When you look at the story of the original,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to go into it. No spoilers here.
Okay.
But when you look at the story of the original, you do wonder how you can move forward from that. And obviously, as we know,
Mm-hmm.
the first sequel to Hellraiser
Right.
is very well accepted.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
But past that, it's a downward slope.
Yes.
The idea that they put forth in this movie is very much like well more open. I don't know the word I'm looking for here, but very much more open for sequels.
Oh yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Like, you have that idea. Somebody else could come across this box and start solving it and,
Oh yeah.
calling the Cenobites for another, whatever. And then, of course, hopefully we have Goran Visnik
Yes.
as Voight,
Yes.
the Cenobite.
That would be awesome. Yeah, I'm totally game for another one. I feel like this is being pretty well received, so it's entirely possible.
Yeah, I mean, you have detractors.
Well, yeah.
But I feel like, and I'm just going to say it, I feel like most of the detractors are the bigots who
Yeah.
have some weird problem with, first of all, a female pinhead or
What?
priest.
And isn't it a female in the book?
It is an androgynous character.
Oh, okay.
As
okay.
all the Cenobites in the book are androgynous.
Okay. Okay.
In fact, a lot is said about how sexless they are.
Oh, interesting.
But Pinhead,
Mhm.
the priest,
Right.
is mentioned as having a female voice,
Ah.
like
okay.
like a little girl.
Oh, that's creepy.
And that was actually the one thing they didn't carry over. They didn't carry over a female voice. The priest in the new Hellraiser
Right.
has a deep modulated voice, but it's also an androgynous voice.
Right. For sure. But now I kind of I'm thinking, like, what if it was like a little girl's voice? That would be creepy.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine that? Ooh. Oh.
Yeah, the other crazy thing is that in the hierarchy of the Cenobites in the book, Pinhead, and I'm just going to keep calling her Pinhead.
That's fine. Yeah. That works.
Pinhead is not even, it doesn't seem like the lead Cenobite.
Really?
She's mentioned, obviously, and the grid on her face and the pins are mentioned, but she's not the lead Cenobite. There's another Cenobite that actually seems to be in the forefront a little bit more.
Interesting. Was that maybe not, but in the new movie, was there one that like represented that one, like look wise or anything, or no?
I don't think so.
Okay, just curious.
I think Pinhead is the only really recognizable one from the book. And of course, we saw the Chatterer from the first movie.
Oh, I was so excited when he saw that. I was like, there he is, or she is, or
Yeah.
yeah, that was awesome. I was very happy.
No,
about that.
I do think that there is maybe a heavier Cenobite in the book that was represented by, I think, what they call it, the Butterbean or the Butterball Cenobite in the first one.
Yeah, I remember one in the movie for sure. The original movie, but I don't remember one in this one.
I could talk about the Cenobites for this whole episode, basically.
Their design was outstanding. Every one of them looked amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, I even watched who played Pinhead? I'm sorry.
Jamie Clayton.
Jamie Clayton, thank you. I watched the speed of how they put all the makeup on and stuff, and I was like, yes, like this looks amazing when I was watching it. And then there was like pictures of them all together. I'm like, this is so, they just look perfect. Like they look horrifying, but they look so good.
I loved, so one thing, I think Bruckner said this, David Bruckner, the director, who also directed The Night House.
Yeah, dude.
Which we also reviewed in one of our previous episodes. Go back and listen to that, please. Plug.
Plug.
So the interesting thing is that the 80s Cenobites, they're supposed to reflect sexuality and kink, as well as, pain and torture and all that. And in the 80s, excuse me, kink was represented by black leather.
Right. Yes.
So that's kind of passé now.
Yeah.
So if you notice, none of the Cenobites in the new movie are wearing any clothes.
That's true.
The patterns with which their skin is pulled back, and it just gives the impression of clothing.
Yes.
But yeah, none of them are wearing clothing because that's today's kink, is just complete nakedness.
Interesting. Haha. Very good, man. Okay. I didn't even think of that. Huh.
So the names of the Cenobites, man.
Yeah.
If you look on IMDb, there's like 4 Cenobites, 4 people listed as the Cenobites. We have the Chatterer.
Yes. Yep.
We know what that one is. We have, and I think this is the one that actually was like to me the scariest, the Asphyx, which I believe would be the one that was the wheezing one.
Oh yes. Yep.
Oh my goodness,
yes.
that one.
That scene, that whole scene where we first see that one was horrifying.
Yes.
I was genuinely watching that going like, this is scary. Like this is a scary scene.
There's the Weeper and the Gasp. So the Gasp is basically, I think, the other Cenobite that does the most talking other than Pinhead.
Yep. And she was kind of in the forefront too, I feel like, a lot of times. Mm-hmm.
Yes. In fact, yeah. I almost feel like she was maybe as high in the hierarchy of the Cenobites as Pinhead.
I agreed.
And then the Weeper is the last one, and that was the one with the like the ivory skin.
Yes. Yep.
All of them were terrifying looking. I loved it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It will be cool to see if like, NECA Toys or whatever makes those, or Funko or something, because those will be really cool to see, I think.
Yeah. So they were all good.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie Clayton, of course, played the priest, Pinhead.
Yes.
And I had no idea, but she is a trans actress.
Yes, yeah, I read that. Mm-hmm.
A trans female, and she was incredible.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And she didn't do much. Like, that's the amazing thing. Like, she was incredible in her stillness.
Yes.
To me.
Yep.
And just her presence.
And I have that note too, where I was surprised by how little the priest or Pinhead was actually there. I really thought, because when it's advertised, like the cover of the movie is Pinhead, is sitting there. And I was
Yeah.
like, wow, that was a lot less Pinhead, or the priest, whatever, than I was expecting, which was interesting. but she made a very... Your eyes were on her when she was on the screen,
Yeah, absolutely. And I've heard people say that they wish there had been more of the Cenobites in the movie, but there weren't a lot of Cenobites in the first movie.
Right. I feel like it was a good amount, to be honest.
I do
It gave me
too.
what
It
I
left
wanted.
me right.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And it left me wanting more.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
I would much rather be left wanting more than overkill.
Absolutely. I 100% agree.
So I do think the movie itself was a little long, but I think the presence of the Cenobites was perfect, and it was just the way it was hinted at. Like at the beginning during the intro, you don't even see them; it's just the hooks that come out.
Right. Yep.
Which I also love the play on the hooks. There's the one shot where I forget who it is walking down the street, and the tow truck goes by.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's trailing the chains and hooks, and I was like, oh, that's cute.
Yep. Good little shout out.
So, moving on from the Cenobites, my friend
Yes.
Riley was played by Odessa Azion.
Dude.
Riley is a little bit divisive with people. What did you think
Oh.
of Riley?
I thought she was great. Well, one, I think Odessa is a fantastic actress.
Yeah.
I think she was very, very captivating on screen. But I really liked that character because it was... I even told this... Actually, I said this to Cindy when we were watching. I was like, it's nice seeing a main character, that's pretty flawed. That has her
Right.
own demons that she's dealing with, as well as
but
Cenobites.
I would say that we saw a very flawed main character in Dashcam. Sorry.
Stop it.
Sorry.
Get out.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
It's your podcast now, buddy.
Yep. I'm a... And how many listeners just went click?
But no,
No.
I'm kidding, but at the
I
same
know.
time, I'm serious.
No, I totally... Yeah. I don't know.
I feel like this movie, no, here's what I'm saying.
Okay.
With Riley, I felt like this movie showed you a character who is flawed, but who you can still like. She's not.
Yes. Yep.
She's not a great person, although she's also not bad.
Right.
She's struggling with her addiction,
Exactly.
and it's very easy at the beginning to be annoyed with her. But I felt like they balanced that line between annoying and like, yeah, this is what it would be like.
Yep. And I think I sympathized with her. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's... I've seen addiction before, I guess, and maybe that's why. But I don't know. It just was... I felt for her, I guess. And then not
Yeah.
only does she, like I said, have her own demons that she's dealing with, she has actual demons now as well. Like, it's piled on. So it's like, man, this poor girl's got a lot going on. As well as losing the one person that was sort of her constant.
Yeah.
So I guess,
brother.
I felt sympathy for her just because she's got a lot going on and not a lot of support. Yeah.
But I felt like she did the most important person was her support.
You're right.
But I felt like she had a really big monkey on her back, which was Trevor,
Yes.
who was an enabler.
Yes. Yep.
And when you have somebody like that enabling you as an addict, it's even harder to say no to what you should be saying no to.
Right. Yep.
And let's pause right here just to say that this entire movie was a big metaphor for addiction. I mean, right? The whole movie.
Yeah.
And like it's not really subtle.
Right. No.
I mean, everything in the movie screams addiction. But one thing I did really like, and I'm going to jump pretty much to the end here, is, skip.
Yeah.
When the Cenobite asks Riley what her reward is, and she
Yes.
chooses no reward, and the Cenobite says that you're choosing to live with the weight of all you've done. I felt like that right there was just a big metaphor for the decision, like the final decision to be sober.
Oh, totally.
Like at that moment right there, she was choosing to let go of addiction, knowing that she
man, that's
still
good.
got the weight of it to deal with. Like it's
Right.
not like, oh, I'm done.
Right.
It's I'm going to go sober, but I still have this, I'm still going to have this monkey on my back,
Right. Yep.
And it's why alcoholics, when they say go to an AA meeting, they don't say I was an alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
They say I'm an alcoholic, no matter
Right.
how many years they've been sober, because
Yep.
they're still dealing with the weight of it.
Totally. Whew, that's good, man. That's
Well, thank you.
Yeah, that's really. I mean, that's a yeah. I like that. I like that ending.
Now, on a more of a surface level, let's go back to when her brother cuts himself and he disappears. Here's something I don't like in a movie,
Okay.
and this is a little nitpick.
Okay.
So her brother is in the bathroom. She's outside. She sees the puzzle box changing on its own. And then, because it's changing into its second configuration,
Right.
she then hears her brother scream, and she goes into the bathroom. He's not there.
Right.
The next thing we see, Colin, her brother's boyfriend, and Nora, her roommate, are there. And then they're all talking. And Riley, like, Colin is sitting there asking Riley what happened. Like, and
Right.
Riley is saying, all she says is like, 1 minute he was here and then he wasn't.
Right.
And of course Colin is like, well, you were high outside. Like, could he just walk by you?
Mm-hmm.
And I hate the fact that Riley doesn't just come out and say, I heard him scream, I went in there and he was not there.
Right. Yes, I totally get that. Yep. Yep.
This happens in movies sometimes, and I just get so frustrated that the character just doesn't say exactly what happened.
Yes.
They still might not believe you, but at least you gave them all the information.
Right. Yep. Totally agree with you on that. Absolutely.
What it makes me think, my friend,
Ooh, yes.
is that they maybe they filmed that scene first.
Oh, yeah. And didn't have all like the
Yeah, they didn't
Yeah.
have the scream yet, and then they did the part and maybe even added the scream in post-production. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But it makes me feel like that was just writing and order
I could see
of
that.
scenes filmed. I don't know.
No, I could
But-
see that for sure. No, I agree though. I'm the same way in movies where it's like, tell them everything. Like, I don't care if you sound crazy.
Yeah.
What'd you see? Like, yeah, totally agree.
The puzzle box,
Whew, yeah, dude.
so good. But the main thing is that, and this was interesting,
Mm-hmm.
people believing other people in a movie.
Yes.
We've talked about this with other movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to watch Trevor knowing what he did,
Mm-hmm.
knowing that he's behind her getting the box, because he won't touch it.
Yes. Yep.
She tries to hand it to him at one point. He's like, no, no, no. And it's like, he knows what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I did not catch that.
I didn't
when
either.
when I watched it.
This was a good twist for me. I did not catch him being the bad guy.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, good work.
Because he doesn't act like a totally bad guy. He doesn't
No.
act like a horrible douchebag. Like once again, you have a character that could easily be a douchebag,
Right.
but he doesn't really act like it.
No, not
I-
at all.
He's
I
actually
kinda
kinda
liked him.
seems like a good guy.
Yeah.
Me too.
I was like, even though he's kind of an enabler in her addictions,
Yes.
besides that, you're just like, he's not a bad dude. I mean, yeah, that's pretty bad. But you know what I mean. Like, you're like, he's not.
Yeah.
He's fun to watch. Like, I'm rooting for him because I think he's a good guy underneath it all. But joke's on us.
And I'll be honest, I don't even know if he was really an addict. I'd have to listen to the dialogue between him and Voight more.
Yeah, that's true.
I kind of think he was,
I think
but he was-
so, yeah.
but he really was more easily went back on his stuff.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, back to the box. So I wrote down the 6 configurations because
Right
I paused it and I was like, man, I need to write this down. So the first configuration is what they call the box, basically, in the other Hellraiser movies, the Lament configuration,
Nice, yep.
and that one's life. The next configuration is lore, knowledge, and then laudorant, which is love, liminal, sensation, Lazarus, resurrection, and then Leviathan, which is power.
Nice. I really in a sequel. Sorry, I totally cut you off.
Please.
But in a
No.
sequel, I would love to see someone else pick. I want to see what the other choices were because we saw obviously they're not good choices when you pick them. You know, it's not like
Right.
this really good prize that you hope it's to be. So I'm like, what would love look like? Well, hope if we do get a sequel, I hope someone picks love. I want to see what that looks like. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. We didn't see knowledge, we didn't see love, and we didn't see resurrection.
Right.
But man, I can only imagine what resurrection is.
Oh, right.
But life does seem to be the easiest.
Right.
You just,
Yes.
You killed 6 people getting there,
Right.
basically, so you have to live with that, and that's what life is. That's the curse of the life configuration.
Right.
Now it's interesting because in the book now, lament configuration is never mentioned.
Oh, interesting.
In fact, I was going to go back and watch the first movie again because I'm pretty sure the movie mentions it as the lament configuration.
I think that's right. That does. Yeah, I think you're right.
See, in the book, it's called Les Marchands configuration.
Oh.
The Les Marchands configuration. I think after the guy that created the box, I don't know.
Interesting. Okay.
So then, yeah, okay, so they get to the mansion. At this point, let's see, who's gone? So her brother picks up the box. He's the first one to go.
Right.
Then they find, in searching for who put the box where it is, they find the lady, Miniker.
Yes.
And
Yep.
she's wrestling. She tries to take the box to throw it away, and she's wrestling with it with Riley. The knife comes out and cuts her. And then we have the hospital scene with the Cenobites.
And that was, like I said, that was horrifying. That, you know what that actually reminded me a lot of too, is Silent Hill. Going into that,
yeah.
like, the bells are going, now we're in hell, essentially. Like, it just had that feeling. And like I said, watching the Weeper or whatever it was walk next to her, I was like, oh yeah, oh my gosh, that's horrifying.
The Weezer. No, it's the Asphyx.
The Asphyx, yes.
Yeah.
Like, but not, it didn't even like notice her, you know, but yeah, the sounds and her just like looking at it as it slowly walks by, I was like, this is nightmare
it went straight
fuel.
to the old man.
Yes.
Or the person in the bed, which was interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ooh, that scene was awesome.
That was a great scene. And I love the bells because that is from the book.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I know they had it in the movies, the original movies and all, but in the book, whenever the Cenobites were anywhere near or anything was happening, they would hear bells.
Sweet. That's awesome.
So yeah, I love anytime the bells happen in this movie, I got like kind of excited.
That's awesome.
So she's gone, and then Riley makes it to the mansion. And yeah, so there's the grating around the mansion.
Yeah, that was cool.
Which was it's a tiny twist. We think that it's like he says, a fortress to keep the Cenobites out.
Right.
But it turns out to be something else, which we'll get into. So the third, who was the third? The third was Nora, right?
Yes.
Wait,
Well,
wait.
no. So remember, okay, I got to jump into, because before anyone else dies, maybe my favorite scene happens where they're in the mansion, they're playing with buttons, and the hallway, secret entrance opens. And I think it's Nora, right?
Nora's the roommate.
Yeah, Nora walks through it, and it gets closed, and we see the shadow of, spoiler alert, it's Voight, but we see him chasing her in this secret hallway.
Yeah.
I was like, good Lord, this is horrifying. Because you just see him, like, he's standing there, and then he just starts chasing her in this, like, dark, hidden hallway within the walls. I was like, I thought that scene was brilliant.
That was brilliant. I love that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I had to bring that up, though, because I think that was, like, one of my favorite scenes in this movie, just because it was so creepy.
So, okay, so who are the 6 deaths? Let's
Well, one is
figure
a
that out
Cenobite.
real quick. Right. I thought that was the 5th.
Was that the 5th? Okay, so we have,
I thought.
1, 2.
So we have Matt, Matt,
Yep,
her brother.
The
Then we
lady,
have, Miniker.
Miniker.
Who am I forgetting? Because then there's Nora, the Cenobite, and then finally at the end there's Trevor.
Who are we forgetting?
Yeah, who are we forgetting?
Oh, do they? No, they don't get the other Cenobite because they try to, but
Right.
then she drops it.
Oh man, this
Oh,
is bad.
man.
This is horrible.
Who else dies?
I don't remember. Because I know it was 6 because I was paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Only one of them died though. You said her boyfriend at the end, right? You said that.
Yeah.
What the heck? Lynx.
Maybe this movie's terrible. Maybe there's only 5.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I'm sure there's somebody's out there yelling at us like,
Yeah.
it was so and so, you idiots.
Or the actor that it was is like, hey.
Hey,
That was my big
you forgot
scene.
me, guys. Yeah.
Sorry.
Wait, 3 Riley stabs. Oh man.
Should we pause it?
Yeah, pause.
Okay.
Okay, so we looked it up.
Yeah.
We paused and we looked it up. So it's Matt is the first sacrifice. The second sacrifice is Serena Miniker.
Mm-hmm.
Then the third sacrifice is Nora. Then the fourth is basically Riley cutting herself on the thing, and the Cenobites say, if not you, another. And so Riley has to pick 2 more sacrifices to get the lament configuration to its final configuration, or
Right.
the box to its final configuration. So yeah, then 5 is the Cenobite, the Chatterer, and then 6 is Trevor.
Nice. There we go. Whew. So see, it was
Yeah.
like a trick question.
Yeah, totally. We weren't really forgetting anybody.
Yeah, we did it right.
Now, I was confused for a little bit.
Okay.
I will say this because so Voight turns out Voight is in the mansion. It turns out that he went through the 6 configurations previously, and
Right.
at the beginning of the movie, we're showing the final sacrifice,
Right.
and he chose sensation or liminal.
Yeah.
And yeah, so this is also taken directly from the book in a way.
Oh, cool.
Because the character at the beginning of the book and the beginning of the first movie also wanted the the greatest pleasures, but sensation and pleasure to a Cenobite is different from what humans consider sensation and pleasure.
Yeah.
So what do? Explain it.
Boy, there's like a box that's essentially in his chest and through his back. It's like this big box, and it's almost gears taking all of his what are they called? Tendons?
Nerves.
That's the one. And just rotating them, like twisting them around in these gears. It's horrifying. It's really
It's
gross.
horrifying.
Yeah.
Like basically the Cenobite's idea of sensation is that he will never feel numbness again.
Right.
He will always feel something. So Voight wants that gone, so he's trying to get the box to its final configuration again so that he can ask the Cenobites to get rid of it.
Right.
But jumping ahead a little bit.
Yes.
So, yeah. How did you feel about Riley using the Chatterer as one of the sacrifices?
I kind of liked it, actually. I thought it was... I know it feels almost probably like it should be a cop-out, like, hey, that's not fair. But I thought it was cool. I was like, no, she got blood
That's
from
exactly
something.
the thought. That's not fair. You can't use a Cenobite. It's already dead.
Yeah. But I liked it. I was like, yeah, cool, man. Let's get rid of those Cenobites. They're jerks. So I was on board.
See, I think I liked it more like when I first saw the movie.
Uh-huh.
And then the more I thought about it later, I'm like, it's kind of a cop-out.
Yeah, totally. But I liked it.
Yeah, it was. I'm okay with it. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so they get inside the mansion and they have the most amazing scene with the Asphyx Cenobite,
Yeah.
where they lure it inside and it just stands there breathing for a moment before one of the gears in its body like switches.
Yep.
And then it chases her.
Yes, that was awesome.
And I was like, oh man. And then she traps it, or I think Trevor does.
Yeah. Yep.
In one of the doors, which is awesome too.
Yep.
And then, yeah. So then Voight comes out. We find out that Voight hired Trevor. And, I'm probably skipping over a couple things here.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the important stuff.
Yeah.
So this was the interesting thing. So I was kind of confused because what happens is she drops the puzzle box running from the Asphyx Cenobite.
Right.
Colin comes in and says the box is gone. And we all know, of course, Voight picked up the box and he comes up from behind and he cuts Colin horribly.
Yo, go. Yeah, that was...
Jeez. So then Trevor lets the Cenobites in to, I guess, take care of Voight or so. I don't know. Why did he bring him in? Yeah, for Voight, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And then so the Gasp, the really cool, I guess, I mean, she's Asian, Selena Lowe, the Asian Cenobite.
Yeah. Yep.
Follows Colin down into the sex room.
Yeah.
And oh man. And then we have this moment where it's going back and forth between Colin about to become the final sacrifice.
Right.
And the priest, Cenobite, talking to Voight.
Right.
And this was where I was confused because Voight wanted the contraption in his body gone.
Right.
The priest tells him, you can't say no to our gifts. We can't take a gift back.
Right.
And she says, but we could discuss a trade. And which Voight eventually, she says, yeah, power is what you've really been searching for this whole time. And he says, yes, power. And all of a sudden, this big-ass chain comes out from the ceiling and pins him to the ground and then pulls him up into the sky.
Yeah. Well,
But
and
then
the box
Riley-
leaves his chest, too, which is pretty kind of cool.
Yes, thank
and he
you.
heals. His, whole body heals again, so he looks back to normal, which was a
Yeah.
cool scene. I liked that.
It was a very cool scene because they also filmed it in a way he's hunched over and it almost looks like he's vomiting the pieces.
Yes.
And I really like the way they filmed that. So he is taken up into the sky and we don't know why or what that means yet.
Right.
Meanwhile, Colin, oh my God. The Gasp has Colin in the basement.
Yes.
And she puts these thin wires that wrap around different parts of his body and string him up, and which look painful.
Oh yeah.
Almost worse than, I don't know, worse than the chains with the
Yeah.
hooks.
I would say so. Yeah. It wasn't nice.
But Riley comes out. She scoots underneath the legs of the Asphyx Cenobite, gets down there, And basically, she decides that she's like, I have control of the box.
Mm-hmm.
So this was where I was confused at first, because I was like, how does Riley get her wish at the end, but also Voight got his wish at the end?
Yeah, right.
Whereas, so what it was is that Riley decides to stab Trevor with the final configuration of the box.
Right.
So that grants her a boon. Voight just made a deal with the Cenobites, and that was all.
Right.
He didn't get a boon. It wasn't his boon to get. He just made a deal with the priest.
Right. He just wanted them back so he could talk.
Yeah. No, I think he just wanted it gone, but the priest wouldn't go for that. And that was the cool. Oh, here's what it was. Okay. Talking through this, buddy. Because the important thing is Voight says to the priest, this mansion is not a fortress, it's a cage.
Right. Yes.
That's what he did. He trapped the Cenobites inside because there's power, whatever the power is in the grating that Voight put around the mansion, the Cenobites can't go through it.
Right. Yep.
So in essence, he traps the Cenobites there. He won't let them go unless they grant him a boon, which instead the priest makes a trade. And, now, I don't know why the priest couldn't just hit the little switch.
Right.
It's not like the priest was like not there.
Right. Yeah.
The priest had physical form. All she had to do was flip that little switch.
Right.
Oh, okay, we're out. Sorry. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's still cool.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, so, and as I've already mentioned, Riley chooses to live with no reward.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a choice for going sober. And then the last time we see her, she's in the car with Colin.
Mm-hmm.
And Colin says, what did you choose, I think? And she says, or he said, what did you do? And she says, I made a choice.
Yes.
And he says, it was the right one, right? And then that was it.
Yeah.
And we just see her face for a second. We don't know if it's the right one.
Right. Yep. Exactly.
But then what happens, buddy?
Well,
The final scene.
And then Voight, we see, is on this like spaceship kind of thing.
Yeah.
And his skin is like just getting torn up, and he is essentially a new Cenobite. He has that look at the end. He's like this naked, ripped up, muscle, blood, skin contraption of a person.
I love that we got to see the creation of a Cenobite.
It was cool, dude. It was really cool. It was creepy, but it was cool.
Okay, I shouldn't have saved this for last because this was probably my favorite aspect of this movie.
Say it.
Ben Lovett's musical score.
Yes, I have that note.
Holy crap.
Yeah. It was awesome.
For a good bit of the movie, I'm listening to this music and I'm just like, like it's so close. It sounds so close to the original theme, Christopher Young's theme. And it's almost like he's flirting with it.
Yes.
And he comes close a couple times, but then finally there's the moment that Riley is looking in the book.
Mm-hmm.
And she's looking at the different configurations and learning about them.
Mm-hmm.
And he's suddenly the theme, the original Hellraiser theme comes in, and I was just like, oh my God. And I know Mary must get mad as hell or just annoyed with me because I get so stupidly excited when score like that comes in.
Totally. No, I get that. That's awesome.
Ugh.
Yeah, and the whole score was great. Like even just at the beginning when we're getting like, even at the party and when the kid is walking in to see Voight, like it was just eerie. It was like it set the mood for the entire rest of the film. It was so good.
Yeah, and oh man, just so many moments when you can bring back an original score in certain ways, and even Star Wars did it. Like when they did the prequels, At the end of Attack, excuse me, at the end of Attack of the Clones, they finally brought in the Imperial March.
Oh yeah.
And people kind of complained because it's like that's Darth Vader's theme, and it's not Darth Vader yet.
Right.
So you can bring back themes, and they're awesome to hear, but they're maybe not the right time to bring them in.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Lovett, yeah, he brought in that theme at the perfect moments of this movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
So good.
it's still one of my favorite horror scores ever.
It's awesome. Oh.
I love the walls shifting
Yes, yeah,
because
was cool.
that's right from the book and from the original.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. Like when the puzzle box is manipulated, the walls like disappear and move.
Sweet.
I think that's about all I have. Oh, I also appreciated, because Riley seemed to be on a better path than Trevor, when Trevor gets bitten by the Chatterer.
Yes. Oh yeah.
When Riley has Trevor on the couch, she finds those pills. But she refuses to give Trevor the pills because he's a recovering addict.
Yes. Yep.
And then she gives them to Colin and is like I think it's a good step towards what eventually happens when she chooses sobriety.
Yes. Totally agree.
Quote unquote.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it now.
Yeah, that's all I have, man.
3 questions?
Let's do it.
Who would cross the bridge of death must answer me these questions 3.
Okay, my friend, question number 1. What is the best death/kill in Hellraiser?
Okay, so I think I purposely didn't really talk about this too much. But I think, again, this is why we don't say our favorite.
Right.
What we thought was the best. I'm going to go with Nora.
I have the same one.
Because it was so heartbreaking. Like, I actually got sad for Nora. She's just a roommate.
Right. Yes, she did nothing wrong.
Yeah, and Voight stabs her in the back with the box, and then it's just multi-tiered. Like, she's in the van, they're trying to get away. She sees the back of the van extend, and then all of a sudden she's in a hallway. The priest is there. The hooks come and grab her and pull her into the air, and then they pull her back so that she's looking upside down at the priest, and the priest is talking to her, which is awesome.
Yeah. And her position, too, is not comfy. Like, she is not...
No,
I mean,
not
she's
at all.
Stretched. Yeah, it's bad.
But then the priest takes a pin out of her head, slides it through Nora's neck, and when Nora vocalizes at that point, all of a sudden her voice is modulated.
Yes.
It was so terrifying.
Yes.
And then, of course, at the end of that scene, the skin of her back just can't hold the weight of her body anymore, and it just tears off, and her body falls, and the hooks are still holding the skin of her back. Good Lord.
Yep. Totally agree, man. I'm exactly what I put.
Trevor's death at the end was a close one, but yeah.
No. Nora takes
Nora's
it.
affected me way more. Okay.
Agreed. Yes. Agreed. Oof. All right. Well, then question number 2, was this movie scary?
I think it could be. I was fine. But I think the Cenobites in this movie are very, very, very terrifying at times.
Oh, yeah.
And I think you've mentioned the same thing.
Yeah. Agreed.
But my question to you, my friend, because we've talked about this, do you think the fact that you now have a newborn baby, does it make a movie scarier to you?
I think it does. Yeah.
Ooh.
I do. 'Cause this one, there were moments that were scary. I think overall it wasn't, like, again, this isn't one I'm losing sleep over, but there were moments like in the hospital when, the Weeper or the Whisper, I can't think of what it's called, walks past her.
Asphyx.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Like, that was frightening. That was a very scary scene.
Yeah.
So there's definitely things like that really did freak me out. And I don't know. I do. I feel like maybe having, like you said, I mean, it's just different now. I have, not that I didn't before have people to take care of, but I have a baby now to take care of. This is like,
Yeah.
you can't do anything. I mean, so I feel like seeing those things maybe is a little bit scarier just because now I have someone more to protect. I don't know, man, but I
Yeah,
do.
it's a weird thing.
Yeah.
I mentioned to you the movie High Tension.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some kills right pretty close to the beginning of the movie. No
Mm-hmm.
spoilers here. But at that time in my life, there were things I cared about. And for some reason, that made the beginning of that movie more effective to me. Like I said, I kind of got over that after a month or so. But
Right.
yeah, it's definitely a feeling, and it might make some movies more scary.
Right. Yep. I agree.
And it's up to you to decide whether that's a good or a bad thing.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yes. Question number 3.
Question 3, man. Did you have fun with horror?
I did.
Nice.
I did. I like I said at the beginning, I thought this movie could have been a little bit shorter.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just so fascinated every time I saw the Cenobites on the screen, and the story just kept me captivated.
Mm-hmm.
I did have fun with horror this time. What about you?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought this was a kind of a pleasant surprise. I was a little bit like, is this just going to be kind of a moneymaker reboot, you know?
Yeah.
But it wasn't. I mean, it was a lot of fun. So, yeah, I definitely had fun with horror.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
dude.
All right, buddy.
Yeah.
And real quick, there were some really good lines too, especially from the Cenobites. When Serena Miniker dies.
Mm-hmm.
The one Cenobite tells her to save your breath for screaming.
Yeah.
And then when Nora is when they're going to the van, right before they get in the van, Nora says, "I hear bells."
Yes.
And, just something about that I love. And of course, they had to do it.
Mm.
At the end when Voight is being pulled up into the air, the priest says, "We have such sights to show you."
Yes.
Yeah, of course. It was a perfect time. See, again, I thought that was great because they could have thrown that line in. We've seen movies where famous lines are thrown in and they're just kind of, it seems like they're forced.
Right. Oh, yeah.
But this was perfect.
Yeah.
Like, it was the perfect time to say it. Just brilliant job, David Bruckner.
Absolutely.
Brilliant job.
Well done.
Just shorter next time.
Yep.
So according to Voight, the puzzle box, it has 6 sides, 6 configurations. There are 3 left. And then it says whoever possesses the final configuration is granted a passage to another realm, to an audience with God.
Riley, since when do you believe in God?
What I'm trying to get to is that this God, whatever it is, offers choices to whoever holds the final configuration. Get there, then you choose your ultimate desire. Life, knowledge, love, sensation, power, resurrection. You see where I'm going?
All right, Andrew.
Yeah, Scotty.
We've reached that wonderful time.
Yes.
And this is something you haven't done in a while.
I haven't. I know.
It's time for you to pick our next movie.
Whew.
What's it going to be, buddy?
All right. I'm jumping back to the 1980s. You know what I'm picking. I'm picking a movie that just came out, and it's called Halloween Ends.
Oh, man.
You knew what I
get
was
to
going
watch
to
it.
pick.
Yeah, it's interesting, and this is like kind of behind the scenes with podcasts, but we busted our butts last year
Yes.
to watch Halloween Kills and then review it that weekend so that we could release it on Tuesday.
Yes.
And it's not like that did any better because everybody out there was reviewing Halloween Kills at the same time. So
Right.
it's like, so our review is going to happen about a week and a half after the premiere of the movie, and that's fine.
Yep. Yep.
That's fine with us. We're just going to enjoy the movie.
Exactly. So yeah.
But we finally get to see how
it ends.
Halloween ends.
And of course, if you're curious where it's at, you can go to the theater to see it, or it's also streaming on Peacock. So if you want to stay home, sit in your pajamas, and watch Halloween Ends, get Peacock. If you want to go out and see the world, see it in theaters.
Get what? What should they get?
Peacock. So dumb.
One more time.
Peacock.
Buddy, I love you.
I love you too, man.
Everybody out there, thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Join us next time to find out what we thought of Halloween Ends. It's already divisive, I can tell.
Oh, yeah.
So, but it's the final movie in a trilogy. So of course people are either going to be happy or pissed off.
Oh yeah.
So we'll see what the Fun with Horror boys think.
Oh yeah.
All right, man.
All right.
You have a wonderful week.
You too.
I will talk to you soon.
Sounds good. I love you, buddy.
I love you, buddy.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
What are you? Explorers in the further regions of experience. Of sensations rim. Our gifts are boundless.
I don't want them.
Yes, you do.